Okay, good morning to everyone and welcome back to the Wilton Report, which is Princeton's only dedicated podcast vlog, which is a video podcast, I suppose, available on Spotify and YouTube and Apple Podcasts, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to get to it. A lot going on. Just as a reminder, I do get questions from customers, so I tend to answer them here as well as when I get them. We have multiple companies at Queenston. So we have a property management company. So if you're a landlord, you're looking for additional support, we have a property management company. We have an abstract company, which is a title and escrow company, closing services company. Princeton Home Connections, which is a building company. We will be building ADUs, and a referral associate company for people who are licensed, but no longer want to be active selling real estate, but want to keep their license and referral status. So those are the companies we have, along obviously with Queenston Realty. I did get a question then, what is the Wilton Group? The Wilton Group is my personal sales team here at Queenston Realty. This is a group of people that work directly with me, and I'll kind of go into who we are. So the top row, myself, Diana, James, and David, we're all real estate salespeople, and we list and sell houses. Diana, James, and David are licensed realtors. They work directly with me here at Queenston on my team. So we run a specific type of practice. I do believe that it is impossible for one person to be everywhere in this business. So I have a team of 3. We'll be at 6 by the end of the year. So if you know anybody who would benefit from joining a team, let me know. And we sell a lot of real estate, and we really have the same focus as the company, which is customer service. But for me, wearing a couple of hats, like 6, having a team of people that not only support me, but the company and ultimately our customers is important. The second row, Lynn Lynch, is my transaction coordinator. She jumps in once the contract is executed. And then these are some of the people that I recommend to support the real estate transaction. Alon Tabak, who's a lender. Vitali Inspections, that's Carlo, who's the owner. He doesn't actually do the inspections. Eric Vandersall does insurance. And then I recommend a few attorneys. Why? Because these are the people I would use if I bought and sold real estate. As a matter of fact, I just closed on a home, 2 weeks ago, and I used every single one of these people. So, it is what it is. And this is the team. So when you see the logo, the Wilton Group, or you come to open house and there's myself, Diana, James, and David, that's what it means. It just means that we're more effective as a group than a single agent. I do think the era of the single agent is winding down, but more to come on that at a different time. So, and the other thing too, and I don't know if I've actually ever announced it here, but every time we do close a house as members of the Wilton Group, I make a donation to the Rescue Mission of Trenton. Actually, I'll be doing that in the next couple of weeks for the end of the first quarter, and it's just a way for us to give back. So that's sort of our bigger picture plan with what we do. It's our advocacy. So some save the dates. May 18th. I don't know how I typed May 3rd there. 10:15 a.m. We're having a market seminar. More to come on that. If you want to attend the market seminar, we will be sending out links, posting links. You can connect with us on Instagram, WhatsApp, or just text me and I'll email you the Zoom link. You can come into the office. You can text me at 609-773-8054. And just put in the words market seminar and I'll save your spot. Sorry for the typo. So let's take a look at the first quarter recap, because this is really why we're here today, to kind of give you a breakdown of what's happening and trending nationally. And then we'll take a closer look at the numbers locally. They're actually so crazy, it's funny to look at them on paper. So we are seeing nationally an inventory shift, meaning inventory is creeping up over last year. Doesn't really matter, but because last year was so low, but it is getting better nationally. Now, we're going to talk about Sitzer Burnett the next time we get together. I'm not going to do it today. There's not enough time. But housing market affordability is so strained and difficult to fix that politicians are resorting to scapegoating. That was written by Lance Lambert at the Resi Club. If you don't follow him on Twitter and LinkedIn, you should. The guy's a real estate wonk on a national level. Very, very smart, very, very informed person. So we're seeing like affordability become election level issues or an election level issue. I think that will continue. You can see that, again, according to Realtor.com, in February of 2024, we were tracking slightly ahead of last year, which is great. However, when you look at the historical, we are well below that, like not even close to being at a normal pace of inventory. We'll break that down locally, but it is a glimmer of good news. So please don't run out and, Josh said, here's what Josh said. It's a little better than it was. That's it, right? This is interesting. Housing market inventory in Florida jumps. It's up 45%, which is really fascinating because everyone talks about people moving to Florida. I did read an article the other day. People leaving Florida. Why? It's unaffordable. Insurance rates have quadrupled. The politics, just the climate, political climate is awful. Crowded, et cetera, et cetera. They're moving back to the Northeast or the Midwest from whence they came. So we'll have to continue to watch that. Nevada inventory dropped. That's rough when you're down 32%. Good for anybody who owns a home, bad for anybody looking to buy in Nevada. So the rental prices continue to sort of march up a little bit in the first quarter, at least to the end of February. Unfortunately, because it's so early in April, I don't have the March data. But again, you're seeing some rent increases across the board nationally. I'm not going to get into rental data today. I'm going to do single family residential and townhouse residential in Princeton. We'll go in more detail later. So this is New Jersey data, okay? So listings in New Jersey in February were up 6.8%. Went from 5,200 to 5,500, 5,560. So across the board in New Jersey, it's up 7%. However, it's still really low. So this is not what I want to hear. The market's changing. Yeah, it's getting better, but it still sucks to be a buyer. It just is what it is. You can see year-to-date 2024, it's up 1.7%. So January, basically, nothing came on the market. And if you look at the homes for sale historically at the bottom of the page, right, we're still down 13.8%, 12-month look. So, it's rough, right? There's not a lot for sale. Median home price is up 13% in New Jersey. Average sale price is up 10% in New Jersey, both for February and year to date. So home prices are going up. Days on market are going down. It's very, very competitive on the bidding side, on the buying side. We'll get into more detail later. That being said, right, new listings in February, this is a snapshot of what it looked like in the state. So you can see in 2022, we had 6,673 new listings, right? This past year, we had 5,560. Last year, we had 5,204. So is it better? Yes. Is it below the norm? Yes. It just is what it is. Condo townhouses got a little bit better than last year. Adult community got a little bit better than last year. Just to keep in mind, adult community always comes last, meaning they're at the end of the real estate food cycle. The real estate cycle starts with first-time homebuyers. That's it. First-time homebuyers buy the condo, right? Or the townhouse, whatever, small single family, and then it displaces people up the line. Townhouse buys the split buys the colonial buys the McMansion. The McMansion either downsizes into a 55 plus or gets divorced and buys two more houses. Like that's literally the cycle of real estate. It's just a reflection of people's lives. So adult community you'll see inventory come up there last. Why? Because they have no place to go. So again, year to date, single family, it's up 1.7%. From last year in New Jersey, townhouse condo 10%, and like I said, adult community is still down 6.4% overall. So, looking at new listings, this is a trend line for new listings in New Jersey. So you can see probably in the last 14 years, we peaked in new listings in 2018. And then we hit COVID basically immediately thereafter, 2020. And new listings have been on a precipitous decline, 2020, 2021, 2022, 23, 24, etc. So we are still way below. We are half of where we are normally for inventory. Is it getting better than last year? Yes. Do I think the worst is over? Comparatively, yes. It's still going to be brutal, I think, for the next 7 years in terms of supply. So looking at Princeton as a recap, just kind of taking a look at Princeton. As of today, 4/3, we hit 41 homes for sale in Princeton. I don't think we've seen 41 homes for sale at any one time. I'm going to guess since October of last year, maybe September, and it's been on a really precipitous decline. Since then, we are actually in the mid-teens at the beginning of the year. However, right, before you start uncorking your confetti, buyers, don't. When you break down, right, the 41 homes for sale, there are 4 single families under $1 million. There are 7 single families in the $1 to $2 million bracket, and there's 15 single families, $2 million plus. So, for the majority of buyers, even though we live in Disney World when it comes to pricing, this is a very difficult environment to operate in. So I had a customer, we went $200,000 above the asking price on a house. We won the bidding. Unfortunately, attorney review started on a Friday, which sucks for the buyer. Sunday night at 11 o'clock, allegedly ridiculous offer came in, knocked us out. We were $200,000 above the asking price, and we got knocked out on a Sunday night. Stinks, happens. So it's not, and this is, by the way, this past weekend. So this is not like it's getting better in terms of the ferocity of the market. You're just going to see homes come on and then get absorbed very quickly. You just won't see a lot of single families under $1 million, period. When you look at the condo townhouse market, there's 15 for sale. 1 is affordable housing, so really it's net 14. 3 are 3 bedrooms under $1 million. They're all going to sell. 2 are 2 bedrooms over $1 million. So these are condos in Palmer Square at 1.4 and 1.8 million with a high HOA, high taxes for 2 bedrooms. And then there's 4 townhouses over 2 million. There's just not a lot of, I would say, adequate supply, okay, of normal homes for sale. So there's just not a lot there. It comes on and then it sells. So you have to be smart. First quarter recap. So when you look at closed listings, that's closed transactions. This is residential. So this is condo, townhouse, single family. We don't have 55 plus in Princeton. I actually jumped back to 2015. Why? Just because I wanted to see the historical trend. We had 50 closed transactions in 2015. When you fast forward to 2019, it went down to 35, COVID. 2020, 38, COVID. By the way, this is the first quarter only, right? So the first 3 months of the year. 2021, as we came out of COVID, 62 homes closed. 2022, 67 homes closed. 2023, down to 37. 2024, down to 27. So we had fewer homes closed in 2024 than in the peak of COVID. Like, think about that. Why? Well, it's because the majority of the market is locked in at 2% interest rates. I met a new customer yesterday, faculty at the university, and they own a home out of state, and they're keeping it. Why? Because it's 2% interest rates. And I said, yeah, it's like owning a bank. That's basically what it is. So when you look at days on market, right, for 2015, it took an average of 70 days to sell a home in Princeton. It jumped to 135 in 2020, COVID, right? And has been on a rather precipitous decline ever since. 71, 53, 49, 48 in 2024, year to date. So when you have constrained supply, high demand, employment, and again, here's the thing. I know, politicians are running for office and they want to tell you how awful everything is. New Jersey's broken. And I'm not saying anything's perfect because it's not. However, New Jersey has one of the top economies in the nation, definitely in the Northeast. We're net gaining population. Mercer County is home to significant employment. So again, if you live in Gloucester County, it's a different story for unemployment. Mercer County, the unemployment rate's like 2.8. So, it's politicians like to get elected and stay elected. So they're going to say things to get you angry to vote for them. But the math belies their lies, I suppose you could say. The average sale price in 2015 was $951,000 in Princeton. For the first quarter, mind you, it went to 1.303 last year. It came down to 1.281 this year. Why? Ironically, we saw a number of homes come on the market under $1 million, single family condo townhouse that sold. Why? Because I think some investors are definitely cashing out. It is what it is. So last year we ended the year at 1.5. I don't expect that to change significantly. We will keep an eye on the median because it's long-term more accurate, but this is sort of the instant value. And then the volume of homes. So this is the total volume of homes that sold. 50 million in 2015, peaked in 2022 at 70 million. Obviously, it peaked with 67 closed homes. First quarter this year came down to 35 million. So low volume, low transactions, high demand, high bidding wars, 200,000 over the asking price, getting knocked out in attorney review on a Sunday night, all very real. Okay. So that's the quickest snapshot I can give you of the first quarter in Princeton that I can. Low supply, incredibly ferocious bidding, 12 offers, 14 offers. It's rough. So let's jump to the forecast. It's really not the same, really not different than what I said at the beginning of the year. You're going to see continued upward price pressure and I'm putting this in quotes, affordable price segments. So what does that mean? Single family under $1 million. Definitely you're going to see upward pressure in that. Why? There's just no supply. I think the era of the single family home in Princeton under $1 million has mostly come and gone. You will get them. And here's the thing. I'll talk about this on the next slide, right? You still have to price your home right, even at a single family under $1 million. So, but you will see continued upward price pressure in the affordable price segments. Inventory will come to the market to be absorbed in the affordable price points. And then I'm going to put this out here now. We can come back to it and you can either throw rocks at me or tomatoes or whatever, or tell me I was right. I'm thinking I'm right based on what I'm looking at. I think you will see prices level off in the 2 million plus market. Why? There's a lot of them. And that will continue because homes that used to cost 1.6 are now 2 million, right? There's just fewer affordable homes. So I think you will see at some point, not today, a little bit of a bottleneck above 2 million. But again, that is not today. I was involved in a bidding war last week on a house above 2 million. So, bidding war, like just brutal. Brutal. So, walk to town, proximity to town will still be at a premium. Why? The largest employer in Mercer County is the university. Their staff likes to be able to walk to campus. Boomers are coming to town. They don't want to drive. They want to walk everywhere. Gen X, which I am, we want to walk everywhere. Millennial, anybody really wants to be in town. Sellers, you have to price your house right. I think it's worth, or Zillow says it's worth. The market doesn't care what you think. Just remember that. Doesn't matter, right? Your opinion is not important to the math of the market. If you don't like the price, don't sell it. However, you have to price your house right. I actually helped a buyer get a single family house in Princeton under the asking price. Why? Because the asking price was too high. But we figured out the pricing. We did a pricing analysis. We talked to the buyer. They were smart. They put the offer in. They were not afraid to negotiate. They did. They got a great value under $1 million in Princeton. So sellers, you have to price your house right. If you price it wrong, you will sit and be forced into price reductions. And buyers, like we'll talk about this on the next episode in a lot of details. I would say this, 2024, I don't know, you may see like a buyer's revolt in the market. I'd say get ready for a whole new experience. Effective July 2024, if you want to see a house, you will need a signed written agreement with a realtor, right? There is no more agent hopping. The market will take a shift. We'll see how it all plays out. I will talk about that on the next episode of the Wilton Report. That being said, my last piece of advice for 2024, as always, is the market does not care. It does not care. It does not care what you think. It does not care what Zillow thinks. It does not care about your opinion of value. The market's the market's the market. So that is for buyers, sellers, landlords, tenants. If you want to know what a home is worth, if you want to know a strategy to buy, just shoot us a text. We can schedule a consultation with you to help you do exactly that. And again, May 18th, 10:15 a.m. I don't know how I screwed that up. Just text me if you want to come to the market seminar. We will go into a lot of detail and we'll have better data because the first quarter was abnormally tight here in Princeton. Like you saw it, we had 27 closings versus a norm of about, I would say 58 would be the average norm. So we were less than half of that. So stay tuned. We'll shoot another episode next week. We'll talk about some of the changes coming to the real estate industry, proposed changes, I should say, that are in front of judges. And that is it. And I do want to say thank you for the warm reception that you've given the Wilton Report in the market. It is fun to have you guys come into an open house, point your finger at me and tell me that the market doesn't care what I think. So I get a kick out of that. But thank you for your support. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and or wherever. And if you do like it and you have somebody that's looking for a home or thinking of selling a home, share the podcast with them. Happy to talk to them. And, that's it. I thank you for tuning in and I'll see you guys again next week. Thanks, everybody.